This 77-year-old man was told he'd spend the rest of his days on dialysis. 8 years later, he walked out of the clinic forever. No more dialysis for him. Today, I'm exposing the exact protocol that doubled his kidney function and freed him from the machine. We will see what he is eating, what he is doing, and a remedy so powerful, some call it black magic.
But I recover just like that.
Catherine here, I'm a doctor of natural medicine, and I'm about to drop a truth bomb that should be on every news channel. Fair warning, what you're about to see will make you angry. Right now, 112,500 people are getting dialysis they don't need. Let that sink in. Over 100,000 people. Needles in their arms, blood pumping through machines 3 times a week, 4 hours at a time. For no reason. Their kidneys could recover, but nobody's checking, nobody's trying. Because here's the dirty secret of dialysis. Once you're in, they stop treating you. They stop testing your kidney function. They stop caring. You become a number, a recurring revenue stream, a permanent customer. They hook you up, pat you on the head, and tell you, this is your life now. Bull crap! Your kidneys aren't dead. They're screaming for help. And today, I'm going to show you how to answer that call. What you're about to see is real, published by a nephrologist, peer-reviewed, proven. A protocol so powerful, it's getting patients off dialysis after years of being told it's impossible. How, you ask? With diet changes that flush uremic toxins better than any machine. A lifestyle hack that gets you rid of excess sodium and fluids. And well, there's also a remedy that these researchers believe was the key to everything. Don't miss it, by the way. Because this is what happens when you put everything together. His dialysis terminated, not reduced, not managed, terminated after 8 years. Now, before the lawyers come for me, yes, consult your doctor, but also know this, everything I'm about to show you is 100% safe, natural, and documented in medical journals. Your doctor might not know about it, but after today, you will. So, here's what happened. 77 years old, 8 years on dialysis, given up on by the medical system. Then, this protocol happened. His GFR didn't just improve, it more than doubled from 5.8 to 13. From you'll spend the rest of your life on dialysis to see you later, dialysis center. Blood pressure normalized. Potassium perfect. Urine output doubled. That last one, that's the holy grail, guys. When a dialysis patient starts seeing an improvement in the amount of urine they make, miracles are happening. And here's the best part. His doctors documented everything. Every food, every supplement, every lifestyle change. And one of the most powerful remedies you will ever see. No secrets, no gatekeeping. It's all right here. Time to look at what this man was eating. Yeah, let's start with the foods because what this man ate didn't just free him from dialysis. It could keep you from ever needing it in the first place. Let's take a look. There are 5 foods in the report that the patient is eating every day. Let's start with a food I never mentioned here on Double O Kidney before, so I bet it's going to be interesting. I'm talking about jujube vinegar, which, believe it or not, really made a difference for this patient. But what is jujube vinegar and how is it going to help the kidneys? Well, this is a type of fermented vinegar that's still being made today with a completely natural and traditional recipe that involves basically just fermenting the juice of the jujube fruit. It's not filtered, it's not pasteurized, and it comes with the mother. Now, if this is a phrase you haven't heard since you were called to the principal's office in the 3rd grade, the mother in this case is a healthy, thriving colony of beneficial bacteria. So yeah, that's why this vinegar has proven to be so beneficial for kidney health. In fact, regular consumption of jujube vinegar is linked to an increase in lactobacillus in the gut, which is in turn linked to a decrease in uremic toxins, aka all that stuff that is sending patients in dialysis in the first place. Question: where to find jujube vinegar? Well, some Asian stores and even some online stores do have it. But if you're thinking, amazing, regular vinegar wasn't pretentious enough for kidney disease, we need the artisanal small batch, probably costs more than insulin version now. Well, good news is that the paper also mentions a much more common alternative that still comes with the mother. I'm talking about raw apple cider vinegar, or ACV in short. Now, ACV is something I've mentioned at least 1,000 times here in Double O Kidney. Seriously, I've talked about ACV so often I expect you're at the point where you feel naked leaving the house without it. You know, the classic check: keys, phone, wallet, tiny bottle of fermented apple juice. And if that's not your routine yet, well, let's make it a thing. And if you are new here and you are asking yourself, why? Well, the reason is simple: probiotics. Because, yeah, people with diabetes love ACV because it's also known to help control blood sugar levels. And that's great. But that's not why it helped this 77-year-old patient get out of dialysis. Do you remember the mother? She's not there because the vinegar misbehaved. The mother is a colony of beneficial bacteria. Billions of bacteria working harder for your health than the entire American healthcare system, which means that even a very small amount of ACV, as we can see, can have a positive effect on your gut health. Because here's the thing, your gut bacteria are doing way more for your kidneys than your last 3 nephrologist appointments combined. I might even go out on a limb and say that improving your gut health could be the fastest way to help your kidney health. Your gut and kidneys are basically in a toxic relationship. When one's happy, the other is happy. When one's upset, everybody's getting dialysis. In fact, the whole diet of this 77-year-old patient, it revolves around probiotic-rich foods. As we can see, many other foods that are full of beneficial bacteria were also included. Sauerkraut is an example. If you have never tried it, this fermented cabbage is like German engineering for your gut. Efficient, reliable, and makes everything smell vaguely concerning. But thanks to the fermentation it undergoes, sauerkraut offers nutrition and health benefits that go beyond those of regular cabbage, depending on how it's made. Sauerkraut can contain millions to hundreds of millions of colony-forming units, CFUs, per gram, with a diverse mix of bacterial strains. Which is great because, there are some strains that are better than others for the kidneys, but in general, the more the strains, the better. Now, if we look at this table, we may notice that our kidney survivor is eating just a very small amount of sauerkraut every day. And it isn't the cheapest stuff you get from the grocery store either. It is special. So, what makes it so special, you ask? Well, if you want to get any benefit at all from sauerkraut, you have to either learn how to make it at home or find a brand that actually sells real, raw fermented sauerkraut that has not been pasteurized. Store-bought options are often pasteurized, and pasteurization kills the live cultures. And I mean, if they cook all the good bacteria out of it, what are you even eating? Salty cabbage? That doesn't help. Pasteurized sauerkraut is basically the participation trophy of fermented foods. It shows up, but it's not actually doing anything. However, there are some brands that do offer raw fermented sauerkraut, so make sure you check the label and it says raw, fermented, and probiotic. And the good stuff is usually not cheap, but remember, you only want to eat a small amount of it every day. All sauerkraut is naturally salty, as salt is essential for safe fermentation. Now, the diet that got this patient to stop dialysis is really heavy on probiotic-rich foods. To no one's surprise, he is literally eating stuff with probiotics at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. His diet also included both homemade yogurt and kefir, at least when he was in dialysis. So I actually made a table you should see on screen right now with the probiotic food options I just mentioned and some tips about how to eat them. And guys, if you're now thinking, but you always say to avoid animal-based foods. Yeah, that's true, but remember, this patient was on dialysis when he started the protocol, alright? So yeah, plot twist, sometimes the rules change when you're literally hooked up to a machine that does your kidney's job. Anyway, if you are not on dialysis, my recommendations to avoid animal-based foods completely still holds true. If you are not on dialysis, focus on fermented plant-based foods and avoid dairy. But if you are on dialysis, well, I still recommend reducing protein intake. Remember that dialysis is used to get rid of the toxin protein metabolism produces, but not all toxins are removed by dialysis. For example, hemodialysis won't do a great job with phosphorus. Many dialysis need a binder for that, and it's even less effective against protein-bound toxins like indoxyl sulfate and picresyl sulfate. And that stuff, you don't even want to know what it does to the human body. Seriously, those toxins, they're like the Voldemort of kidney toxins. We don't speak their names. We just fear their love values.
Voldemort.
Anyway, that's why, while most dialysis patients do not need to avoid every single animal-based food, I still recommend you focus on those foods with serious health benefits, such as yogurt and kefir. And in any case, everyone should consider the fermented foods I mentioned today, such as sauerkraut and ACV. And now you may ask, what if we are not really into the whole fermented food scene? And guys, I get it. Maybe you just prefer your kitchen not to smell like the inside of a kombucha factory. I get that. Or maybe you just prefer your food to stay dead, not rise from the grave like a zombie apocalypse appetizer. So in that case, could you just take a probiotic supplement and call it a day? Now, what they use in this paper is food, not supplements. However, here's the thing. Science strongly supports the use of both probiotic supplements and fermented foods in people with CKD. In fact, you can get way more probiotics from a single pill than what you get from all the foods we have seen today combined. And there is more. We even know what specific bacterial strains you need if your goal is protecting your kidneys. Yeah, some probiotic strains are better than others when it comes to getting rid of uremic toxins, because a well-designed probiotic supplement, one that's specifically made to help CKD patients improve their kidney health, includes a higher dose of those kidney-saving bacteria than what you can get from any food. So yeah, there's a strong case to make for the use of probiotic supplements in CKD patients. Just make sure you are getting a probiotic that's made with your needs in mind. That's the only way to be sure you are getting the right strains in it, and nothing that could potentially be dangerous for you. Now, if you want to try a renal probiotic, a product designed to protect your kidneys, well, this is something I'm really proud of. This is Renabiotic. This is a product I designed with your needs in mind. Yes, this is the first probiotic supplement in the world that's made for CKD patients, and that's also low FODMAP and perfectly safe for patients with gut sensitivity issues. It's gentle, effective, and 100% CKD safe. It includes specialized strains that are known to reduce the production of renal toxins, protecting your kidneys. It's called Renabiotic, and you can find it on the website renabiotech.co. You can learn more using the link in the description. And remember that a good probiotic won't replace the right dietary choices, but it can help. It can make your life easier, and it can get you started on the road to a better kidney function. Okay guys, it's time now to see what black magic they're using to kickstart dialysis patients' kidneys back to life. Let's talk about the only remedy the team of doctors who made this recovery possible is using. And this is it. It's called black seed oil, and it is administered in the dose you see on screen right now. Now, if you are curious to learn more about black seed oil or to know why I recommend a higher dose than what was used in this paper, well, stick with me for a moment. I will also share my favorite brands for this magic remedy and how to find them. So, you may have heard about black seed oil with another name, Nigella sativa. This is the name of the plant from which we get the oil. And if you are going to buy black seed oil, make sure Nigella sativa is mentioned in the ingredients. What you see here is the seed of Nigella sativa, and it is sometimes also referred to as black cumin or black seed. And yeah, some people consider it magic. In fact, it didn't just help save the 77-year-old man from dialysis. It was also used in a larger trial on CKD patients. They tested it on 136 stage 4 CKD patients, so not on dialysis. And the result they got was incredible. As you can see, on average, their GFR improved by 20 points. I'll say that again. 20 points of GFR improvement in stage 4 CKD patients. And in just 12 weeks. I mean, that's absurd, right? 20 points. That's not an improvement. That's a resurrection. Your kidney is going from barely hanging on to maybe we can cancel that transplant evaluation. Especially because they achieved this result in a lot of patients. So that's why I was telling you that you may want to take a higher dose of this remedy. In this study, this is how they were administering it. Now, something else I need to mention about this study is that all the patients, both test subjects and control group, were started on a low-protein diet supplemented with keto analogs. And I know what you may be thinking, that's cheating. I mean, anyone can improve their kidney function when they are started on a low-protein diet, right? But you see, everyone in this study got the low-protein diet, right? So it's not cheating if everyone gets the same advantage. Just like steroids in baseball. But instead of home runs, you're hitting GFR improvements. And actually, those also taking the black seed oil improved even more, as we can see. By the way, the study in which the 77-year-old got off dialysis, well, that patient was also put on a semi-plant-based low-protein diet. So if you want to learn more about the low-protein diet and how to make it work for you, my video up here is for you. And this is all for today. Thank you for watching. God bless you all. Bye!